Guys, welcome to another audio commentary. You're listening to Vol, and we're watching a game between Gen and ToT.Infernal. Infernal being from the Templars of Twilight clan. And here we've got Gen up in the northern position, the 12 o'clock with the red Terran. And Infernal is the yellow Protoss on the right-hand side of the map. Replay is in double speed, something I am doing today because the game is very long, but this is probably one of my favourite Terran vs Proton games ever, so it's worth getting through. I promise a lot of awesome action in this game. It's going to be a great one. And a little bit of probe harass going on in the base of Gen here. Nothing too drastic. We've got one cybernetics core going down. Doesn't look like he's going double gate this time, so we might see an early expansion here. Just going straight into factory, so just nothing cheesy or out of the ordinary from either of these guys. First Dragoon coming out. He's skipped his first Zealot, so, and there's range there, so just really standard stuff from both players at this point. But here is the clincher. Gen's realised that his opponent is only going one gate, so he's going to put some pressure on with a double factory. So straight off the mark, we're seeing a little bit of aggression here from Terran player Gen, and we'll see how that pays off. But he's just basically rushing into double shop add-ons and getting as many tanks out as quickly as possible, and then it's just a matter of charging straight to the Protoss base. And because the start locations are adjacent, it's going to be a little bit easier for Gen to get his forces over there in time. And we're still only on one gate, so what we're going to be seeing here shortly... Oh, here's the second gate now. Maybe he just suspected that something's up, and I've got to get some more units out. But he hasn't set up the expansion at his natural expansion. But if you look down in the bottom right corner of the mini-map, you can actually see that he sneaked his expansion over at one of the... down the bottom right, and that's a really interesting move there by Infernal. Just picking that because Gen is unlikely to just go there and scout it. I mean, it's not something that anybody normally does. It's very easy to stop. Well, it's easy-ish to stop if you know that it's there. I mean, it's a very sneaky thing to do, but people hardly ever scout for that sort of thing because it's just so uncommon. And we've got Infernal with a probe just to scout to see if anything like this is coming in. Yeah. Gen just moves out with a lot of tanks, some SCVs to help out, and 5 or 6 Marines, Vultures. There's an extremely sizable attack force here by Gen. So, force is screaming in here. Infernal's going to have to take some serious evasive action to avoid this. Dragoon's moving out to defend, but they are outnumbered, so this is not looking good for Infernal. He cancels his other nexus there. He had actually gone for 2 expansion nexuses at once, and the thing is, he's going to be able to keep his expansion down the bottom right, and if Gen doesn't spot that, Infernal might not just be out of the game here. He's in fact building more gateways outside, and what this will allow him to do is to actually build up some forces and flank him. And we've got Gen here containing Infernal, thinking that all of his forces are trapped inside his base, but that's actually not the case. Like my rhyme there. Okay, barracks. Seeing what kind of tech Infernal has is very useful if you're setting up a contain like this. You just got to make sure he's not trying to drop Dark Templars in your base or something like that. Very useful just to know what's going on. Gen getting his own expansion, which he's going to need to do to sort of stay in the game at this point, considering that even though he's two factory rushed Infernal's managed to get an expansion anyway, which has completely gone unscouted, and building those gateways, that line of gateways down the bottom, is going to allow him to build up forces from both sides, and he won't really be trapped as such, because with the double-pronged attack, he's probably going to be able to take this out. There are only mines protecting on one side. And Gen has now spotted the expansion down the bottom right, taking out probes, but not really enough there. And Infernal's going to have to spring his trap pretty soon, because Gen knows what's going on now. And as you see, he's moving some tanks down, thinking that maybe there wasn't really much in the way of defense for that expansion, but he was wrong. There were plenty of gateways there, and Gen is really not going to be able to maintain this attack. So, things not looking too good for Gen here, because his containment has been destroyed. Infernal's able to go up to 3 expansions now, or 3 bases rather, not 3 expansions, 2 expansions. And he has a lot of gateways, and he's got some probes, not as many as you'd normally would in this sort of situation, but, well, by situation I mean, when you're on 2 bases. Again, looking at a pretty good defensive position at home, but let's just see whether he can come out ahead here. There's an interesting trade-off that's occurred. Infernal looking to possibly get another base, going up to 4th base. If he could secure that, then he'd be in a very strong position, but I'm not sure if he's risking that yet, spending 400 on a Nexus when he really needs to consolidate his comeback here and just make sure he's got plenty of troops on the ground. Preventing Gen from going out to 3rd base. If he can do that, then he'll be doing really well. Yeah, he's pretty much got 2 probes in position there just to take either of those expansions when he feels the time is right. And we've got a nice actual block. Yeah, I like the way he's used his gateways just to line that entire field there, basically protecting him from a lot of vultures coming in, and that's what it's going to do. So if you can keep Dragoons around there, he'll be pretty safe. Won't have to build that many photon cannons down at his bottom right expansion. Again, has boarded a vulture, and pretty good with his vultures actually, just putting a mine at the expansion locations, but he hasn't stopped that extra expansion going out. And now that Gen sees that Infernal's taking yet another expansion, he's decided to move out again. Probably a decent idea, actually. I'm not sure how well he's timed this attack, but it does looks like the timing is pretty good. The fight going off now, the Dragoons swarming around in a concave just to snipe those tanks, and this is going to be a close fight. The tank numbers are dwindling really fast. He's got plenty of vultures, but just not enough tanks, and oh god, mines go off and destroy. Oh look, that's like 9 Dragoons blasted by mines, and excellent job again there, just saving the day. Even though he had 1 tank against like 9 Dragoons, those mines just made all the difference. And oh my god, Vulture swimming in and actually catching the probes en route to the expansion. Great move. It's always beautiful for the Terran when that happens. He's got Zealots swimming in, but Vultures are pretty good against Zealots as well. I mean, they are speed upgraded here. I mean, just once again to remind people watching the game in double speed, so that's why everything's happening pretty fast. But I mean, as you know, Vultures and Zealots are extremely fast when they're upgraded. And Gen has managed to get expansion at the top left, and thinking about getting one at the western position, the 9 o'clock as well. I'm not sure how well this is going to pay off. He's got Infernal's got plenty of forces to come in and take this out, so Gen wisely cancelling that expansion and just delaying things, hiding the SCV, just hoping that Infernal won't come in and find it. But at least he has got his 3rd base up now, and he's got a gas at that 3rd base too, so just hanging on there and continuing to make a lot of tanks and vultures is the way to go. Just upgrading them at this point. He's got, I counted about 6-7 factories there. He's going to have to increase that soon after he's got the new base, but we'll let him do that. Now, first starport going down, Stargate rather, sorry, and Arbiter Tribunal, so looks like we're going to be seeing Arbiters, and it's a good call by Infernal now that he's on 4 bases, soon to get a 5th base. Arbiters are extremely good support for your main army, and they're not that easy to counter. Gen has got the Goliath Sharon boosters upgrade going, so that'll be handy for shooting down some of the Arbiters, but again, against Arbiters, it's really good to have, in my opinion, a few science vessels with EMP and plenty of scan sweeps. Just save your scanners, and that'll give you a chance against Arbiters, but regardless of what you do, they're always going to be a difficult unit to counter. Now, Gen taking control of the middle of the map, or at least the top western position, that general area of the map with his tanks, setting up a lock with mines and turrets. Good thing to do. It really helps to gain a bit of control here, and we're seeing some more Stargates and a fleet beacon. Sorry about the quality of the video. I know you guys have complained about it. I can't really do too much about it. It's gun cam, but that was a fleet beacon. I'm not sure if you could see it that well. And Infernal dropping off a probe down the bottom left island to take another expansion, so both players really just trying